One of the easiest ways to cut down on your energy bill is by making the switch to energy-efficient lighting. So we have Maren and Amanda from the Center for Eco-Technology, and you're going to tell us why. It seems like you can save so much money by changing over your bulbs. How much exactly could you save?
We're both so excited to
Well,
tell
no,
you about
because
it.
it's that pregnant pause because
Right.
it's a ton of money.
It's true. Some people hesitate to go out and make the switch to light bulbs that they don't know if they'll like them or not because they're new, but it's really true that you can save considerable amount of money over the lifetime of a light bulb. Initially, it might be a little bit more expensive to purchase an LED or a compact fluorescent light bulb.
And that's just the CFL, because we see those initials a lot.
Right, CFL, compact fluorescent light bulb, LED, light emitting diode. But if you take a look at the packaging, they often tell you what you can save over the lifetime of the light bulb.
And
so
this
for
is
example,
amazing to look at. Yeah, we have this LED 9-watt bulb here. You can save $280 over the lifetime of the bulb. The reason that number's so high is because these bulbs last so much longer than your average bulb.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Some bulbs can last up to 25 years.
Right.
And then the other thing is they have so much less of an energy output that you're saving maybe up to $40 a year per bulb, which is crazy if you make that switch.
Right, so the reason that you want to move away from those energy inefficient old incandescent light bulbs, we actually have an example right here.
So this is it, we're gonna turn it on.
And the reason that you want to move away from them is because they're so inefficient. 95% of the electricity that they consume is actually producing waste heat.
Well, and you notice that too, immediately when you turn this bulb on, it's hot. And on a summer day, that's not good for your energy bills either.
Right.
So we turn this one off, and then we get into the CFLs. Tell us a little bit about these bulbs.
So the compact fluorescent light bulbs, if you give them a little touch, you can feel they're not producing as much waste heat, right?
Not at all. This is great.
Yeah.
And now, are there knocks on these CFL lights? What are some of the cons of these light bulbs?
So one of the issues with CFL light bulbs is that there's a concern about there's a mercury in the actual light bulb. And so if you break that bulb, you want to actually be a little more careful. You don't want to just sweep it up. You actually want to use a damped paper towel to pick up the extra bits that way. But ultimately what you're really talking about is there's as much mercury in the bulb as a bite of tuna fish sandwich.
So it's a negligible amount.
It's not that much, and unfortunately we have a lot of mercury in our tuna fish these days. So
that is true.
But equally, so it's not that dangerous, but it is still something you have to be a little bit more careful with, and you do want to properly dispose of this. You can take either of these different light bulbs to stores that sell them, your Home Depot, Lowe's, some of the hardware stores around that sell them, and they will usually collect them back there and then properly dispose them, because you don't want to put these things straight into the landfill because of those extra hard metals that they do have in them.
Now, a couple more pros and cons. A good part about switching to the CFLs, it cuts down 75% of your energy bill per light, but they take a little bit of time to come on and up to full brightness too. Is that right?
Some of the older ones do, but actually more and more nowadays they don't. The ones that are newer, and especially the LEDs, they instantly pop on and they're just great bright light as soon as you need them.
Speaking of these LED lights, we're looking at one of them now. Take us through the pros and cons of LED light bulbs and why someone might choose them or not choose them over a CFL light.
So, I mean, LEDs are definitely, I mean, there's no concern about mercury in them, and they do just instantly turn right on. And you also get a lot of variety with the LED bulb. You can get a very wide spectrum of light. And so when you are purchasing them, you do want to take a look at the lumens, as it sort of decides what the spectrum of light, everything that we call sort of the bright whites to the cool whites, that is sort of part of the options that you have through LEDs.
Because I think the old knock on these bulbs was that it had a color that was kind of undesirable, but now it's just like, it's very similar to a natural light.
Yep.
It's almost an indiscernible difference. You save a lot of money and you help the environment.
But to make sure that you do get the light bulb that you want, that it has the light quality that you want, as Maren said, just take a look again at the lumens. The higher the number, the brighter the light. The lower the number, the softer, the warmer the light.
So it's like the new watt. Like you used to look of a wattage on the bulb, but now lumens is more of a reference word that we're using. And now lastly, to drive this point home, something I always love, if you don't mind,
yes,
I'm going to head over to this machine, because this crank illustrates how much power it takes to put a regular light bulb on as opposed to an LED. So shall we start with the regular light bulb?
Yep.
And I'm not, look at this. I'm going hard. This is not easy to do, and I'm barely keeping the light on. But how about we switch to an LED bulb and check out how easy that is. I'm barely exerting any energy. Maren, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you here. Amanda,
Definitely.
you too. Swing back and